Hey everybody, I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you all had a good hump day out there. We're halfway through, well, we're over halfway through the week. We're on the downswing for the weekend. Just a typical day here in South Alabama, getting some work done, had some errands to do, and time to do a video. Today I want to talk about not losing weight on a raw food diet. Guys, I do videos every day, so if you're not already subscribed to the channel, I'd appreciate if you'd hit that subscribe button now. Then be sure you click on the little bell and check send notifications to stay subscribed to the channel. I find out with this raw food thing and, well, weight loss, but raw food in general, certain messages people don't want to hear. It's like you can get a lot of information from just watching people's reactions to stuff. And sometimes I like to just watch, like somebody will put a comment out there and it'll poke somebody, but the comment wasn't like rude or anything. So I think when you challenge people's beliefs about how they think it works, they get a little angry. And there's a lot of people that just are fooling themselves. That are basically making up things, mostly making up excuses to support their story. Because let me tell you what it is. Sometimes you hear all this stuff, well, I can't lose weight on a raw food diet. I'm doing all this, I'm doing all that. And I'm like, sometimes I used to be kind of puzzled about this. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. I've seen this person in one of the groups. I've seen them sharing almost everything they're supposedly eating, and they're not losing any weight. Now me, I would be emaciated. I would look like you would lock me up in a concentration camp if I was eating what some of these people do. Oh, but Jack, you're not absorbing the food and it's not vibrating. Stop with the woo-woo bullshit. Come on. There's a lot of just simple science and people don't want to apply it. Too many people are trying to perpetuate this thing that this is some sort of magical, mystical lifestyle, and all of a sudden the body alchemy takes over, when there's just basically solid nutritional facts that go behind weight loss, weight gain, whether you're eating raw, whether you're eating cooked, whatever. Now I find mostly what it is, and people are always like, well, they gain weight when they eat cooked food. But it's not the actual cooked food that is making you gain weight. I think we tend to, we can consume the types of food that we cook, we tend to consume more. So there's just so many like little things that float out there, and I'm looking at them, I'm like going, and I don't have time to go back and forth. I don't have time to explain every little comment or whatever. So I just let them go on. Most of the time I'm just observing. But no, I don't usually say anything. I watch and I observe, and I try to use that to kind of dig a little bit and find out. Because this is research for me too, just seeing how other people process this. Now every once in a while, I'll, maybe even go check their social media presence out, or maybe sometimes it's somebody I get to know and you'll talk to them. And they're almost always, as if I dig deep enough and just see what the real story is there's logical reasons why people aren't losing weight. Calories count. Listen, please do not try to give me some little explanation of how calories don't count there. If you're the kind of person that doesn't think calories count, have nothing to do with your weight, well then I'm probably not the guy for you to be listening to, because you ain't gonna change my mind on that. Now when I talk about calories, I think sometimes people think maybe I'm obsessive and I'm counting calories. I don't count calories at all. But after doing this for 7 years, approximation of calories in certain foods. And basically by me, it's just kind of I know how much volume I'm taking in during the day. Okay, for instance, here's a good example when I'm just saying volume. Like my smoothies, I can't say, sometimes I'll do that. I'll say it's a 10 banana smoothie, but basically I judge how big my smoothies get, and I pack my bananas first, like where it is in the Vitamix. So if I've got bigger bananas, but I know volume, and I can tell if I'm taking in a certain volume, my weight stays like this. If it goes below that volume, my weight goes down. If I keep it up, like I did this winter, and I, take a little bit more in, my weight goes up. I'm sorry, I'm not an alchemist. I don't believe in all this woo-woo. I don't believe in all this magical, mystical changes in the body, and that's just a lot of fluff that people, like I say, are using to fool themselves. Well, why I'm not losing weight? There's always things in there. I'm finding, people that that are just scarfing dates down by the handfuls. If you're doing the raw food lifestyle and you're really doing a clean raw food lifestyle, like I say, and I understand too when I'm always talking about how it is for me, that not everybody's body is the same. And we have people that gain weight and lose weight easier or less easy than other people, but I can't believe it's that different because I've told you I'm sure you're tired of even hearing this. I'm not a naturally thin person. I was a fat kid. God bless it. I was even going through some old photos yesterday. I keep telling you guys I was a fat kid. I'm gonna find a photo and I'm gonna use it in a video very soon. But I was a fat kid. I lost weight probably when I was about 13, between the 6th and 7th grade, lost about 20 pounds. And then after that, I was just a normal kind of a teenager. I ate a lot of garbage still. And I probably had a little bit of a belly or whatever, but in high school, say by the time I was a senior, I was solid, fairly solid. I worked out. I had the chest and the shoulders and the arms and stuff. And then I went off to college, got into hitting it hard in the weight room and eating a few steroids here and there and just eating like a maniac. This is like old school stuff like Arnold Schwarzenegger. If you've ever watched any of his story, they'd go out into the forest and drink beer and squat. I would do that. I worked out like a maniac, and then by night I was a drunk. But anyhow, the point being is every time I tried to lose weight, every time I started to lose weight or get back healthy again, it wasn't easy. It wasn't like weight just bam, 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 dropped off. It was always this process. And I would slowly cut calories. I would slowly cut things out. I would get on the treadmill or do whatever, amp my metabolism up. And then finally, yes, I could always get slimmed back down. I mean, I've been about 180. I've been about 180 before, pretty buff with six pack. But it still was always tough until raw food lifestyle. When I came to this lifestyle, I mean, it's like I had people, when I first went back to this one little area where I was, and I visited and then I left, I had people that they were asking behind each other's back, not gossiping, they were concerned. They were like, is he sick? Does he have cancer? Does he have something? And so, but my weight plummeted. Now it's easier to keep your weight steady, but it's hard to put that weight back on. And I've never, ever since, and we're coming up on 7 years, ever since, I almost feel like eating is my job during the day. If I just left to my own devices, like especially now that it's warmer, if I kind of just like go, lollygag throughout the day and don't pay a lot of attention, I get to the end of the day and I haven't, eaten near enough calories and my weight goes down. And that happened last summer. I got down into the low. I'm about 162, 163 now. No, maybe about 164. But last summer just got way too skinny at the end of the summer. And I just decided this year I'm not going to do it. But neither here nor there. There's always something in there. So look into your diet before you start looking for all this fancy woo-woo stuff. Are you eating tons of dates? Are you scarfing down tons of fat? Prove somebody else wrong. Actually track every single one of your calories. Use Chronometer. Put everything in there. Show, you just need to see that you're eating a certain amount and you're losing weight. And then you see, okay, well, maybe I'm eating more than I thought. Maybe those calories add up. Eating too many dates, eating too many nuts. And I don't want to pick on the dates. I mean, dates have their place, but I kind of use dates as a tool more so than like I just sit around and eat dates. But alcohol, there's a lot of these raw vegans that still drink. Alcohol puts weight on you because not necessarily even the calories of the alcohol, but you don't make good food choices. And even if they're just marginal, you may not go totally off the rails. You just don't make those great choices. So there's usually almost always something. So if you would have a food journal, it's right there in front of you. There's no discussion. But I think that's why a lot of people don't have a food journal, because they kind of know that if they actually did that, they're going to find out that they've got to make some changes, that they've got to maybe cut out that food that they're not telling everybody about, that they're that's keeping the weight on them. It's really simple. It's all this raw versus cooked and all this detailed stuff because it's supporting an industry. If we keep it simple, there's nothing to sell. There's nothing to really get all deep into. So we have to make this thing like all these processes. I mean, sometimes look, here's what I had. I wanted to read this one to you because I made some notes. Figure out the basics before you get fancy with details. You know, you guys know I'm not Mr. Science and I'm not sitting here able to refute every point, but it's just always like these people that are coming at you, well, but this, oh, well, it's because they always look for the most convoluted reasons. Occam's razor, the simplest answer. There's always some, deep thing where you can't do it because you're not absorbing this properly, or you don't convert this, or you don't do this, or whatever. Listen, bottom line, let's bottom line this whole health thing. The vast majority of people, and when I say majority, we're probably getting up in the 70, 80 percentile at least. If they simply, and raw versus cooked, blah, 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 enzymes, dead, living, this, that, the other, you can stay fit, healthy, trim, athletic, active, whatever you're trying to do. And I'm not saying everybody's body needs to look the same. I mean, everybody has a different body type, but you will settle into that body type. But yeah, just simple general stuff is going to keep you healthy. But no, that's just not sexy enough. Listen, if you eat a whole food plant-based diet, keep the fat low, keep it, watch the processed food, watch your oil, watch your salt, watch your added processed sugar, move your body, stay hydrated, take some sun for vitamin D, do something good for your health every day, plug in. You're going to be healthy. That's it. But there's no book to be written in that. There's no program to be pulled out of that. You got to have okay, the first month, this, and that. So the weight loss thing is not that complicated. And if you really are still resisting that message, dig deeper and find out what is really that thing that's holding you back. But I'm still going to say the best tip ever is one that I got from Tanny Raw years and years ago that I don't practice because I'm okay. I'm not worried about finding certain things because I don't have to deal with that. But food journal. If you're writing down everything you're taking in, then you can go to somebody, or then you can figure it out yourself. And then our memories tend to be sketchy. We tend to remember things as we want them to be. So if it's there in black and white and put every detail down there, if you drink 3 ounces of something, if you eat a bite of this, put it down there, then there's no excuses. But it's pretty straightforward. There's no special secrets or any special process or programs to losing weight on this lifestyle. And instead of doing a whole nother video, if you're trying to gain weight, just reverse everything I've said, but come at it from that healthy approach. Don't go high fat, don't eat a bunch of processed stuff. Just up your volume a little bit. Anyhow, that's just my 2 cents, and that's all I share here is my 2 cents. I never tell anybody follow me, do like I do. So hope you guys enjoyed this video today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.